welcome back to another episode of Warrior Spotlight, where the stories are real and the emotions are raw. We're super excited to have a room full of guests tonight. We'll get to them in a minute, but let's go over what's been happening with Little Blessings this past probably week. So much has been going on, right? There's so much that goes on all the time. What has been going on? Rain's gonna kill me. Let's talk about what's coming up. This Saturday or this Sunday, we have the Military Kids event. It's going to be here from 11 to 3. And what that is we're inviting families with military kids out to the ranch. Rain will be here to talk about the teen program. Kyle will be here to talk about the kids program. There'll be some activities for them to do. We'll have some food and just for the families to get to know the space that have never been here. And then we have on the 3rd coming up, we have a Derby Casino Night fundraiser. And that fundraiser is specifically going towards our capital campaign. So we launched a capital campaign mid-January. And we are building stables for our horses. We don't currently have stables. They reside in the inside arena. And so the goal is $420,000. We're at $167,000 now with very generous donors. And so we're super excited to see what's coming. So, all right, let's get on to our guests. Are you guys ready?
Ready.
What did I forget?
The disco party.
Oh, yes. There's a lot of events coming on. That's down the road. So yes, we do have the disco.
Can't help it.
It's Robin's favorite.
I can't wait.
So we didn't forget about it. We just try to stay within a 2-week window since we do this every week. It's all good. Okay, ladies, you are from the Blissfield Auxiliary, correct?
Yes.
Would you like to go down the line and introduce yourselves?
My name is Angela Mallory, and I've been a member for 17 years to the auxiliary in Blissfield.
I'm Andrea Burkholder. I am the auxiliary president. I've been a member for 10 years.
I'm Peggy Piotr, and I'm a member, and I have been a member for 24 years, and past president, where I held the office for 13 years.
Wow.
Nice.
Pretty big responsibility being president. So what do you have to do as a president?
Make sure everybody does what they're supposed to do.
Is it like herding cats?
Kind of. Yeah.
So how many members do you guys have?
About close to 100.
Really?
Wow.
Yes.
Are all 100 active?
No.
How many are
We
active?
wish they were all active.
Yeah.
We probably have 20, 25 that are donors and
Yeah.
give about 20, 25 that give their time and give donations and stuff like that when we have functions.
So are you always looking for recruits?
We are always looking for recruits.
So if somebody wanted to get connected, what do they need to know about being part of an auxiliary?
That we support all the veterans, especially in our community. And here I go.
We have a whole box, so it's okay.
Our whole purpose is to serve our veterans. So whatever we do, we give back. It's a nonprofit. It's total 100% gives back to our community.
What are some of the activities you ladies do?
We do taco dinners, and we do
Bake sales.
We do, and those bring in people support those very well. We do them at the SAL's Fish Fry.
We do raffles.
We do lots of raffles.
We do, and we do spaghetti dinners. And we do functions with the other groups, the SAL and the Legion.
And what is the SAL?
The Sons of American Legion.
And can you tell me a little bit more about that? What is that?
You have to have either a grandfather or a father. I don't know if brother.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure exactly what their criteria is, but it's definitely father or grandfather that was in the military, and then you can be a son of. Then you're considered a son of.
Nice. And what is, each one of you answer this, what is your favorite part about being part of the auxiliary?
Just helping the veterans and we were talking earlier, nobody knows what it's like until you walk in those shoes, and become a veteran like you, and how hard it is. And I know it's something I could not do. I mean, I know I couldn't. I wouldn't be strong enough. I know I couldn't.
You have your special gifts.
Yeah, I just know I couldn't do it. So.
Mine is helping the veterans.
Mine's helping the veterans. I know that I've said it many times at our veterans dinner that I could never sign my name on that line because you wouldn't want me there, because I'd be that one going, no, don't sure we're right here. Don't do that. And just no. And so you wouldn't want me out there. So I just would rather stay here and support what I can support.
But you're all spouses of veterans.
No.
Fathers.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Fathers.
Oh, your fathers? Okay.
My grandfather was. That's how
my
I
husband
joined.
is.
Okay.
I had many uncles, father that were Marines, other branches also.
Yeah, I'm signed up under my husband, but I had a brother that was in Vietnam. He was a tunnel rat.
Ooh.
Many problems.
Yeah. And so being a spouse, I mean, being a family member anyways, right, is because we talk about this a lot. It's just the veteran that's affected. It's the entire veteran family that's affected, right?
Correct.
And so we really are focusing and trying to bring that more to light for people to understand, right? I know all three of you said that, we couldn't do what you do, but, it takes amazing people and courageous people like yourselves who do what you do to support us, right? And to include a spouse, right? That is a different dynamic altogether. We see spouses out here all the time, and that's probably one of my favorite things that we do out here is because spouses are a forgotten entity, right? And so because it's always focused on the veteran, and it's really the spouse that keeps it together, while the military member is gone, and then when the military member comes back, quote unquote, broken, you're just moving on with life and trying to hold the pieces together, right? And so, yeah, it's a challenge all by itself. So let's talk about how you guys got connected with us.
I worked with Liz Shoemaker, and her daughter Kara, I believe, volunteers here. And I saw them at a tax swap in Monroe, and gave me some information because I'm involved in horses. And so I took it back to our group. We came out and toured. They were very impressed when you guys came out and toured. So we just started raising money for you guys. And it's local.
Yeah.
But equine therapy is wonderful or all pet therapy is wonderful for veterans, or anything, depression or anybody, get a dog. Just not a 12-week-old corgi.
Do you guys have anything to add to that? I mean, what did you think when you had your first tour? Was it what you thought it was going to be? Was it beyond your expectations?
After we left here, I was determined.
Yeah. I was
This
like,
is it.
Local, let's hear, let's help these guys. And I could see your dream. You made it very clear what your dream was. And I'm like, we've got to help her get there.
And you guys have.
Because I love strong women.
Yeah. You guys have been an amazing part. And so what we did this year, because you guys donated to us last year, of course, right? And then over the winter, what I did was I went through our list of donors and tried to position donors with needs that we had, right? That I thought would be a great partner. And so that's when I reached out to you, Peggy, and said, you guys already donate to us. How would you like to be the title sponsor of our kids program? I think it's a perfect fit. And of course, without hesitation, you're like, sure. So we're very, very excited that you guys are the title sponsor for that. It just really highlights the support that you give to us. It highlights the compassion that you have, the support that you have for the entire veteran family. And so what were your thoughts when I reached out and said, hey, will you do this?
I was like, we're sometimes we forget about our programs. We get involved in community and different things going on around, and we forget that there's all these things through the Legion, through the auxiliary that we need to be doing, and for military children is one of them. And it's not like a lot of people in our community come out and say, hey, we need help. They don't do that. So being involved with the military children is kind of, I was like, oh, wow, we could help do that. And that would be like something that kind of like we're supposed to be doing, and feel like we're, it is local and it is helping our military children and getting involved that way.
Yeah. I love the relationships that we've grown with the local VFWs. I mean, they're growing more and more in the American Legions. And I love to be able to position you guys and put you in like a title sponsor opportunity, right? It just really provides an opportunity to highlight what you do for us, which I think is amazing. You guys have anything going on at the Legion right now?
Taco dinner Friday night.
Taco dinner Friday night. And how much is that?
They're 3 for $6. 3 for $6. Then we have nachos and cheese. I think it's 3 or 4. And then we've got deluxe nacho, and that's $6.
And what time is it from?
4 to 7.
4 to 7.
Or until gone.
Or until gone.
Yes.
If we sell out before 7, we won't be there at 7.
Yeah, we won't be there at 7.
We're not going to go to the store and make more.
Do you guys sell out quite often?
We have,
but we don't do them quite as often as we used to. It just, we've just had our hands in other things, and
sure.
And so we're just kind of getting back into it. So we did one in February, and then we kind of skipped over Lent because on Fridays, we like to do them on Fridays, and of course during Lent, there's no meat on Fridays, and so we skipped to April and May. So.
Do you guys have any big projects you're working on right now?
Our pavers.
Oh yes.
We have a walk of honor. It's paver. We call it a paver project. We're selling bricks, personalized bricks, and we're going to make a walkway around in the front of our Legion.
Oh, nice.
So people can honor a family member, a military, but it can be anybody. It can be a fireman, or it can be just somebody you lost in your family. It can be a pet.
Sure.
Or you can just buy a brick for your family.
Nice. And how big are the bricks or the pavers?
They are 4 by 8.
4 by 8.
And you can get the emblem and 3 lines.
Or there's lots of other decals
that
you can get
art
on that too.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to, like we said, you don't have to be military to get it for your family, businesses, anything.
Yeah.
Nice. And what does this raise funds for?
We haven't
really established that yet.
Sure.
We're just trying to get.
Yeah, it's going to be an ongoing project. So, we're going to sell them forever.
Oh,
kind of thing, where we'll just keep making it bigger and bigger. We'll probably every year say the money we make once we break even, because we had to, to do landscaping and everything.
Sure.
So once we break even, we'll probably decide on something for this year, and then next year as the years go.
And do you guys do a big parade for Memorial Day, or do you guys do anything for Memorial Day?
Blissfield has a parade. Yep. And we are usually the front of the parade. We are the colors. So.
And we have a chicken barbecue.
Yep.
The Legion puts on a big chicken barbecue.
And we're going to, instead of throwing candy, we're going to be handing out little flakes to all the kids.
Oh, okay.
So
did they get rid of the candy in your area too, as far as?
No. It's so expensive, and
sure,
so much of it still lays on the street.
Yeah.
And we want the kids to have something to kind of
reinforce what Memorial Day is.
Reinforce what the day is about.
Instead of candy. And do you guys have a youth group there? A young?
We've got some.
We have a couple junior members
that are active. Like they come and
go, depending
like
on their age group.
They're kind of busy in their lives, but we've got 2 in particular, her grandson and my granddaughter, that every vet's dinner, they're there.
They do a program.
Yeah, my granddaughter's the one that spoke this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
them. Yep.
Brought everything.
It was
to tears.
beautiful. It was really beautiful.
Yeah.
You
And
guys were very welcoming, by the way.
And what event was that? So let's transition into that. So Robin, I was unable to go speak, so I had asked Robin to speak. And what event was it that you were holding?
Our vets dinner, our annual
Okay.
vets dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that look like? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, we do like a welcome. It's like a whole program. It's not just come and eat. It's a whole program.
Mhm.
Welcome, pledge, national anthem. We usually have a guest singer. A guest singer this year was my niece, and she kind of got shy at the last minute and broke down crying, and so we just all sang this year.
Oh,
So
that's
this was
great.
the first year that we all sang, but it worked out just fine. And then we kind of go through honoring all of our veterans that are there, and ones that like replied that couldn't make it. We include them in that, and then we go on to dinner. It's like a buffet style dinner, and then after that we have maybe the singer sings again, and then we usually have a guest speaker, which this year was Robin, and just kind of like different topics, different things that we that kind of come across to me or I find interesting, and then we kind of close it out with our president and our commander speaking, and then at the very end we always did. For years we had dances at the Legion, like once a month, and at the end we always made a circle and sang "God Bless the USA." And so I started doing that several years ago, and everybody seems to like it, and everybody stands around and holds hands, and
I bet it's pretty
sings
powerful,
and-
huh?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's pretty
Made me
powerful.
cry.
How
Yeah.
many years have you been doing
You
the
can
vets
feel
dinner?
it.
Yeah.
I've been doing it since 2003. I started it in 2003.
Wow.
And it's free. It's free to the veterans and
Veterans
it's
and their
just
spouses.
yeah. And if they want to bring family members, they can, but it's like a discount. It's very
It's
reasonable.
very-
Yeah, it's like
cheap,
$10.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And with that, we'll transition into Robin, right?
Hi.
Yeah, Robin is one of my sister veterans. So let's just talk about. We'll go backwards, but let's just talk about your evening with these ladies when you got to speak there.
Well, when I came in there, I felt so welcomed by all of you. And I got lots and lots of hugs. And I was really impressed with everybody. I honestly was.
Mm-hmm.
And to hear the granddaughter, is it your granddaughter?
Yes.
Boy, she blew me away. I was crying.
Yeah, she ended up not being able to read it. She got tearful too. So
Yes, she had to go up and read it.
Yeah, the vice
And
president read it.
Yes.
I had read it.
Yes.
My daughter and her husband had not read it. They had no clue what was coming. And so
Came from her
our vice
heart.
president read it, and she even jumped up. So
It came from her heart.
it did.
But I was, and then a lot of the gentlemen came up and talked to me afterwards. And one gentleman was like, yeah, I feel bad because I was never in a war or anything. And I said, that doesn't matter.
Mhm.
You still did your mission for 20 some years.
Mhm.
You don't have to be in a war, I said, it's still hard to transition back to civilian life if you even do. So
Yeah.
I think that helped them out a little bit.
And that's the part that, I don't know if you ladies know. I'm so proud of her. And so there are a couple other veterans too that are able to go out in the community now and speak, right? And that's something she could not have done at the
No.
very beginning, right?
No.
And now for her to go out there and into a space that she is unfamiliar with, right? And just share and speak about this program and what it's done for her and her space as a veteran that's monumental. That
Yeah.
speaks
Yes,
volumes.
I really think that it definitely moved some people that day. In fact, I think we had one or two that came out and maybe even are going through the program. So
That would be amazing. Yeah.
My goal is just to touch one.
I think you touched a couple.
Yeah. That makes
Touched all of that. He touched me.
I couldn't have done this like she said.
I
Unless
think
would've
we had
went through the
100 there or
program here.
so. And
Yeah.
I think
It-
everyone.
Yeah. Well, let's start back with some history for you. How's that?
Okay.
All right.
I
Let's
was
talk-
born in 1960.
So, do you have family that went in the military?
Let's see. Okay. I had a brother that went in the Navy and went AWOL. So that didn't work. I had a brother that went in the Army and he couldn't wait to get out. 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Korea. My real father, I just found out about, he was a gunner in World War II.
Mm.
Very highly decorated. He had a Purple Heart and everything.
Oh.
I just shared all this news. But my dad that raised me, he was Navy for 8 years.
Hmm.
And I had one more brother that was Air Force for 6 years. Very, very intelligent. That's back in the day when they were doing the microwave system. And he was teaching it. And the Air Force really wanted to keep him. But he fell in love and she didn't want him. She didn't want him to stay in the military. So he got out. And they ended up getting divorced.
Too late for him to go back in.
Yeah. But that's, but nobody really talked about it in my family. Honest to God, none of them did. And my uncle also was World War II, a veteran Navy.
So, what made you want to go into the military?
Well, I was raised up in a pretty bad childhood, you might say, and being around the wrong people and doing the wrong things. And I'm like, there's got to be a better life out here. And I wanted to serve my country more than anything. I would, back in the day, it wasn't like it is now, like on TV and everything, but we'd have recruiters come to the school and I would go up there and I'd listen and everything. And I'm like, I don't know. And then finally, I didn't go until I was 21.
Oh,
Yeah, I wasn't 18. I was 21. I wanted to make my mind up and kind of sow my oats a little bit.
Before you go in there.
make some bad decisions.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, the military was way different than now.
And you
Wasn't
went in
as
the Air
strict.
Force first?
I was Air Force first, 1981. Oh, let me think, to 2009. I was active for 16. Then I went in the reserves.
Okay.
My job in the Air Force, pretty much, I traveled all over the world, but I never went to the Orient.
What did you do?
Kind of like a load master type job, transportation. So we go temporary duty a lot. It's called TDY. So that's how I got to see a lot of the world.
And ladies, I want you, if any questions are brewing along this process,
Yes.
ask, right? Because this is the beauty part, because there's other, viewers
Yes.
out there going, what about this question? What about this question?
Yes.
So feel free to hop in at any moment. That's why, we really want, we appreciate you being here. And then it just allows the connection to happen a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
So, okay.
So it's like load master, airline type things, stuff like that. This is the best way to describe it. And I went TDY a lot and learned a lot. And when you're young, you're not scared really of anything. And I went to Panama on a TDY. This is when I was in the reserves.
Mhm.
And I had a tragedy happen. I had a military sexual trauma happen. But it wasn't with Air Force, it was Army guys. Well, they caught them and they're out of the military now forever. And they have
Should
a criminal record forever.
Should be,
Yes.
yeah.
So I'm just saying, things like this does happen in the military.
Mhm.
Not just in civilian life, but it does happen in the military.
And I think it's important because I don't really think military sexual trauma is talked enough about,
No,
right?
it's not.
We hear about combat trauma, right,
Yes.
all the time. And military sexual trauma can happen to a man or a woman,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And so it doesn't.
And it's probably covered up a lot more because it is military.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because what's happening is probably the worst part about the entire scenario is it's by, people that are supposed to be supporting you in some sort of fashion, right? One way or the other. Not in every case, but in a lot of cases, it's the people that are supposed to have your back. And that's the worst sort of betrayal on top of the sexual trauma, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate a little bit on that topic because I had a few women ask me if I would do that, and I will. So when I flew back from Panama, we were doing 2 weeks. You do 2 weeks once a year with the reserves, and you do a 1 weekend a month, weekend warrior. And when I flew back, the commander and everybody was there of the unit, and they're like, well, we're really sorry what happened to you and blah, blah, blah. And then what was really bad is like when I would come my once a month to do my duty, they would go, oh, Sergeant Giles, it's time for you to get your AIDS test in front of everybody in case I would have gotten a disease or something from those guys that did that to me.
So it continued on.
And it
every
just
month.
continued on and on. So finally I got out because I couldn't handle it no more. And I went there and he said, did you guys not even think about my feelings when you do that?
Mm-hmm.
You're ridiculing me. I mean, you're making me feel
like,
horrible.
Like you did something wrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like you're always made to feel like you did something wrong when in turn you didn't. But at the time, you don't realize that because you think, well, I had a couple drinks with them, or you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it's not your fault. Women out there, it is not your fault. And if you need help, you need to come here.
So did you make the decision? Did you report it right away?
Yeah. And the Panamanians got involved with their OSI.
Which a lot of times it doesn't get reported at all.
No.
Yeah,
I was scared to death it was going to get swept, but I was bruised and torn. It's real bad. So they did a rape kit on me and they took pictures. So there was a lot of evidence that this happened. And they found things off in the woods where they ran off. So there was a lot of evidence. But it's just you feel like you're looked down upon after that. But I mean, I would say, man, I know I would skip a weekend because I'm like, they're going to ask me, well, we're going to tell me, it's time for your AIDS test, Sergeant Giles, in front of everybody.
Yeah, no.
We get a briefing before we go on and do our missions. I could never figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're already trying to compete in a man's world.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, yes.
And
yeah, I got rank. I should have had rank so many times, and they would pick a guy over me. Except in the Air Force, though, I did make staff sergeant by testing. So, and then when you're active duty Air Force, you do testing to, and then like if you're involved in, like I played softball for the Air Force team. I did honor guard, anything special, like Special Olympics, they consider all that and how well you're doing. You get a yearly review and they write it up real nice for you. So if you're a good airman, you're an airman in the Air Force. And I scored really good on that and I made staff. And then I was about to make tech, and that's when I had to get out.
Yeah. So because of the pressures, I mean, you still wanted to be able to serve, but you just couldn't do it there.
No, and then, then I started drinking heavy too, because, you're trying to figure it all out and cover it all up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it all started. Then I asked to be put in the Red Horse, which is an engineering in the Air Force. And they said because I was a woman, I could not be in that field. At the time, you couldn't. They had certain fields women could be in, certain fields women couldn't. I wanted to be an engineer. I wanted something different where I could use my mind because I'm mechanically inclined. Well, I joined the Army, National Guard. And
So did you have to start all the way over at basic training?
No, because
So what was
I
your
had been
transition from blue to
I had
green?
been repetitive military pretty
Mhm,
much. I just
mhm.
took a 2-year break or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I didn't have to go through basic training. Well, that's really weird because the acronyms and everything are so different and the rank and everything. And it's like, they just gave me this book about this thick and said, here you go.
Learn it.
He studied this.
Yeah. So I had to kind of wing it, here and there. I did pretty good, I guess. I went to school in South Dakota in the freezing cold, mind you. And believe me, the Army believes in marching everywhere. I don't care if your face is frozen like this. You're marching.
Permanent smile.
Yeah. So I went through there in Leonard Wood.
What was your
And,
job?
I'm combat heavy engineer.
Which means what?
Well, we can sweep for mines. We can take mines apart. We can blow things up. We do vertical or horizontal construction.
How many women were in that when you joined?
I was pretty much by myself in the category I was in.
That's bad.
Yeah. What did you say?
I was gonna say, that's bad.
There were women over there, mind you.
You can say it. It's over 18 here.
Okay, that's bad.
So pretty much as soon as I got back from being active duty, I knew something was going on because we were just National Guard, right? And they were like, we're getting your shot records together and you guys are doing this and doing that. And I'm like, we're going to get activated because what was going on in Iraq. Well, we did get activated and we were the second go. So from 2003 to 2005 was over there. Came back all messed up. Went to Battle Creek, Michigan 2 times and stayed.
Talk a little bit about your military experience being there. Like what you did, what it looked like.
Okay, well, I'll start with the good. The good was our construction team. We built a church, and we were at FOB, which is Forwarding Operating Base. Spiker. We built a church at Spiker. We went out and we tried to purify the water over there, but they would burn them down. So it was like a waste of materials and a waste of time. We had to redo, this is masonry work also, I forgot to throw in there. We had to go out and redo the runways over there because during the first Gulf War, we bombed the runways up. So we were living in the abandoned houses there. And we did that also. So we had a lot of missions going on. We had to secure the perimeter. We had to redo the runway. We had to make sure the buildings we were living in were livable. So if there was a hole in the roof or whatever, we had to get materials and fix it. So we had people that do plumbing, electrical, and all that. Our people went and upgraded all the electrical and water lines and things like that where we were at.
But it's not like
toilets.
standard living housing.
No. It was
Let's not paint that picture.
they were blown up. These
Yeah.
buildings, they had bullet holes in them, and
You were
anything
making
you
them
can think
functional.
of. Yeah. So this would be the room, and there would be about 6 cots in it. So you're living with lots of people. But
Close.
you had mortars going off all the time. You know, I had to go out on combat missions. I was the NCO security officer, might say. We had to go out on bridge missions because a lot of people traveled over the bridges over there, and they were man-made bridges. So we had to go and tighten them every week. So you take you're taking your life in your hands doing that.
Do tanks and stuff go over them, or is it just
No tanks.
okay?
No.
Do vehicles or just walking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, the tanks did, because we had one fall in the water. That's right. Yes. Yes. And the Iraqi people used them also. So back when I was there, they had these things called IEDs, where they're in. I can't think of the word. Improvised explosive devices, and they would put them under the bridges or in the road, so you could be driving and get blown up.
I was just
Right.
going to ask you if they did that.
Yeah, it was bad.
Mhm.
I lost people.
My nephew was blown up.
The worst part, I think, was it for me was me being female and my rank. The guys didn't want to listen to me. They were younger, and we're talking national. There's a big difference between National Guard and being active duty. Big difference. They didn't want to listen to me, so I had problems there, and they'd say, write them up. Well, what the hell for? You know, they're just going to come back on me if I do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a lot of responsibility, because most of these guys were under 21. So I barely got any sleep, because I had to make sure they were up, make sure they were fed, make sure transportation constantly. So I really honestly didn't get a day off.
It's like having a bunch of little kids.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. But I think what got to me the most when I got there, because I had never been like boots on the ground, like where you could be dead any second of your life. They gave us these, I'm going to cry, I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to.
They gave us these pieces of paper. It's an ID. And you had to put your name and everything on it, and your family's, whatever, your next of kin, whatever. And you had to put it up in your Kevlar, which is a helmet that we wore over there. So I carried pictures of all the babies in the family. And I carried I don't know how I did that, but I carried a New Testament. And then I had to put that in there, identifying who I am if something were to happen to me. Then lots of people don't. I'm not going to get gross, because I won't do that, but lots of people don't realize what it's like to see dead bodies, the smell of it. A lot of veterans out there lost all their guys. They're the only one left, and they have survival guilt from it. They feel like it's their fault, and then they feel like they shouldn't exist because they lost all their buddies. I was fortunate enough not to have, but it's still unfortunate to have lost the ones that we did. Our youngest was 19, and he had just come back from leave, which was a blessing in disguise, because he got to spend time with his family. And then not too long after that, he had to go out on a mission, and he got hit by an IED, and they were blown up and killed. And then you get over there and you can look at each other and you don't have to say anything because you know how you feel. You get numb inside and you don't feel anymore because you know you have a mission you have to do. You have to do this mission and you know you have to. And you're scared to death, but nobody says anything. Nobody talks about it. So you push everything down. And then the stuff you see or the things you go through, you push it down and you push it down. And then just like over there, I don't know what it was. All I was trying to do was my duty, my mission, and watch out for everybody and try to take care of everybody the best I could because that's how I am anyways. I always watch out for other people. Well, I don't know, but they all turned on me. A lot of my guys turned on me. So, talked to the chaplain about it. He's like, Sergeant Giles, let me tell you something. You better not say anything about anything that's going on because remember, everybody around here is carrying a weapon. And all they have to do is, and there's a bullet in there, and they can kill you because we have live generators running right there. So some awful things happened to me there. And I want women to know, and men, that you can get help. You can get help. I didn't realize how messed up I was until I came home. And like I said, I went to Battle Creek 2 times and tried cognitive therapy. And
Tell people what Battle Creek is.
Oh, Battle Creek's a hospital in Battle Creek, Michigan, and it's for post-traumatic stress disorder. And I was diagnosed with that and high anxiety and OCD, and you can get OCD from PTSD.
And you stay there. It's an in-house, inpatient.
Yeah, it's inpatient. I think, was it 6 weeks? I believe it was anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks program. I went through it and I came home and I'm like, I still don't fit in. I don't, there's no one to talk to. You go through the program and you're happy because you're with a bunch of veterans. And you're like, okay, you can talk to each other there. And you go through groups and like, it kind of feels like the military. Okay, you're on a schedule, all right? You get up, you eat, and then you have all these classes you have to go through. And at the end of the day, you've got your free time. So I was happy about that. But as soon as I left, I'm home and I'm like, 2 and 2 is not making 4. I can't. So I went back again, tried it again. Here, what I was missing was the structure of being in the military, having a team. I couldn't go back to work. I tried, and my hypervigilance was so bad. I still have it, but not quite as bad. But I was constantly on the watch, constantly. Nightmares, no sleeping, can't do fireworks. It's just a lot of things. And I can't expect my family to understand. And a lot of the kiddos were young and they were looking up to me because here's this brave soldier that came home. So again, push everything down even more. So, honest to God, 18 years, and I found little blessings. Jamie was at a church, and they were having like a carnival type thing, and she was out there with one of the ponies, and spreading the news like she always does. And well, first off, my buddy gave me a brochure and I looked at it. It's about little blessings. And I'm like, I don't, I ain't, no. And I, honest to God, I put it back on the table. I'm like, no, I'm all right. Kid yourself. You're all right. You're not. Well, she was there, and I started walking up to her, and I just started bawling my eyes out. Oh, what the hell, She gave me the biggest hug, and we talked a little bit, and I told her kind of everything that was kind of going on with me. She took the time to listen to me, and she invited me to an open house here, and I was so excited I couldn't sleep. So I showed up, and I come around here, and right when I hit the gate, I started crying my eyeballs out. I said, this is a God thing. This place is a God thing, I'm telling you. And I came up, and she showed me around and everything, and I'm like, she didn't even have to ask me if I'm interested. I'm like, when can you sign me up? I need this. And I think it was within 2 weeks I was in the program. And it
changed your life, didn't it?
Well, I'm going to tell you what. It made me go so deep that I went back to childhood trauma and brought that out to the surface. Yeah, I had some really bad childhood trauma, and it brought it to surface. And Mary Beth, one of the therapists, she was like, you got to get everything out. You got to start way back then and come all the way up to heal. And I didn't even realize that was something that was so pushed down so hard that I didn't even think about it anymore. But I never really dealt with it either. Some things. I don't want to get into detail about them, but.
What would you say the biggest thing is that you took away from the program?
All the phases I went through, there's 5 phases. And I learned how to trust. I was scared to talk to all the therapists about things, and they're not pushy. They are not pushy by all means. And the way they do it is they let you decide what you want to talk about. And they just kind of reinforce you. They don't force anything on you at all. If you don't feel like talking about something, it's fine. We'll move on to something else. Yeah. But they all listen to me. There's lots of hugs. My horse was Journey, great big Clydesdale.
Had you ever been around horses?
When I was young.
Have you ever been around a Clydesdale?
No.
What did this Clydesdale do for you?
He was huge. I was kind of scared at first. And I'm like, I thought maybe he was going to trample me or something. But I found out that he was the most gentlest soul. I cried, I tell people, 1 million tears. It's probably a little exaggeration, but I cried a lot of tears on him. Lots.
What did he offer you?
He was helping me feel again, like I thought I felt before, but not like this. And he helped me deal with, like, it's okay to feel this way. It's okay. And he's like, I got your back. And he would put his big head right here on me and just lay it there, and I could talk to him. They know. They're magical. They know. And if I was stressing real bad, they know too, because they'll stay away from you. But all the horses here would, different stages, you get out there with all of them, and each one comes in and checks in on you. We have a horse here, Maggie, that doesn't like anybody, I don't think. And she would even check in on me. Then she'd pin her ears back, which don't touch her then, and she would take off, but she did check in with me. But Journey's my boy, but maybe he would stay away from me for a reason that day. Then Blessing would come in and check in, or Sonny. One of them, it's great stuff, let me tell you. Very therapeutic.
Had you ever been through anything like this?
No, this is what I feel like saved me. I mean, I wasn't I wasn't suicidal like a lot of people are. I feel bad for that. I feel bad for anybody like that. I do. But I didn't have a spirit anymore. And I didn't hardly smile and stuff. The only thing that made me happy was my dogs and the kids. Because I didn't feel threatened around them. I felt like because of everything I went through, I felt like I was being judged by adults all the time. So I kind of isolated. And stayed away from friends. I had a friend for a long, long time, and I just cut her right off because I didn't want to be around anybody. And then I come here, and I'm smiling all the time now, and I feel like I have a team, and some structure, because when you're military, you get out, you still need that.
When did you graduate?
Oh, October. What was
16th.
16th. Rain graduated too through her program. She became a licensed therapist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Me and her graduated the same day.
Cool.
But
so what does this place mean to you?
this
Do you
is
utilize it even
yes.
after you graduated?
This is a second family to me. I can come here. I don't even have to check in with anybody. I can go around here and walk the grounds. We have trails. I can come here if I'm having a bad day. Sometimes I'll stop here. Nobody will even know I'm here. And I'll go see one of the horses and talk to them. Something that's going on with me. I come here. I volunteer. I haven't been much lately because I'm not feeling well. But when I get back on track, I try to come once a week.
She makes our house all clean and pretty.
Yes, I do. I clean.
It's your OCD coming out.
Yeah. I have it bad. But it's probably a good thing for people I do things for.
What does it mean to you that you have a place that you can just come to anytime?
It means more to me than anything in the world besides family and stuff like that. Because, I mean, I can call any veteran and I could say, hey, I'm in a spot right now. I need some help. Or, hey, I got a project going on. Can one of you come and help me? We're here for each other. We're really here for each other. And even if we don't know each other, we greet each other and we hug each other. It means like a family I didn't have. How's that?
And you've helped mentor some of these.
Oh yeah, and I still am. Yep.
Do you mentor the kids too?
No,
the troops, the veterans,
some of the veterans.
So she's very handy with, like the woodwork and all that kind of stuff. So it's just a great bonding tool.
Mm-hmm.
So she's worked with a lot of the other veterans on, building the walls and
I helped do a lot of stuff.
And being a voice to them too. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, because we'll talk, and then, like I said, people don't know what it's like to, if someone had to shoot and kill or see awful things or body parts, just all kinds of stuff. You can talk to each other and you can relate with that veteran. Even if you didn't see it yourself, okay, you can relate to them because you know what war is like. But like I said, let me reiterate on that though. You didn't have to be in a war to come here. You did not have to be in a war because we know what it's like to try to transition. We sure do. And your family's welcome here too.
Talk about the community dinners.
We have community dinner once a month, and Jamie usually has that on the schedule. And we like our civilians to come out here too. And the families come with their kids and everything. And we usually get a donor, don't we?
Yep.
For every month, a sponsor for our food.
And then everybody brings a dish.
And then we have everybody bring a dish. But like, you guys are welcome to come out here. You get to know some of the veterans because all of our veterans here will talk to you. You know, they're curious.
Mm-hmm.
They want to know, you know, what part do you have, or are you going to have a part in our mission out here?
What would you say the biggest difference is between VA, and I'm not knocking VA healthcare by any stretch of the imagination, but 4-wall therapy, which we've done, and this?
Well, since I went through 2 in-house programs and I tried to do cognitive therapy, this is 100% to 20%. And I'm not lying. We have people here that enjoy what they're doing. They're really into it. They love all of the veterans. They want to help. Their whole heart's into it. Where I think a lot of the people at the VA, and I'm not knocking the VA either, but I have went through and I've seen a lot of them, doctors and stuff, they want to put you on medication. And I'm not going to get drugged up where I don't know where in the hell I'm at. I'm sorry. Or I'm tired all the time
So
and I
you
can't
aren't-
go on with life.
You aren't on any kind of medication?
Yes, I have to have medication for my anxiety because it's ridiculous, and my depression. I take only 2 pills compared to like 12.
But it allows you some coping mechanisms, right?
Yes. This place gives you coping mechanisms. It teaches you how to deal with anger, nightmares. I'll give you an example. Being at the grocery store and someone drops something. Okay, before I would shoot underneath something because it would scare the living daylights out of me because you automatically think, hit the ground, it's a bomb. That's where your head goes.
Right.
After you go through this program, you still might go there, but you'll say to yourself, I'm not there anymore. I'm here. I'm here. You start learning those type of things.
What
It
Yes.
seems so simple, but
It's
a
not.
process.
It's not. And I'm still going through it.
What about the kids? What do they get from them coming here and going through the program?
So it's an 18-week program for the kids. And so it's a social emotional regulation. And a lot of people think it's about riding the horses, and that's not what it is at all.
Mhm.
So if veterans don't know the emotions that they're struggling with, how do we expect the children to know how to deal with those emotions? And so the first 6 weeks, they learn what emotions look like through the eyes of the horse. So they'll put the horse in certain situations. They have a setting where there's like balloons, or they'll put things on the horses in setting like a scary stage, if you will. And then they're taught these coping mechanisms, and they see the reaction of those horses, and they have to help those horses do that, not being so scared or calming them down. And then the second 6 weeks is about team building. So they work together because the kids are ages 4 through 13. And so they work together as a team, and they build an obstacle or something to try to get the horse through in or over. And then the last 6 weeks is about community service. So even in our veteran program, the last 10 weeks, they have to give community service to the ranch.
Yep.
And then with our kids program as well. We start out with inviting the community to come in. We have firefighters, police officers, nurses, truck drivers, because we want those children to know who's serving them in the community. And then they have an opportunity to do a service project for somebody who's done something for us in the community to give back. And so it's quite an extensive program. It's one of a kind. It's developed by us. Kyle is the director of the program. She's one of the co-writers of the program.
Mhm.
Rain, our mental health therapist, she helps in it. And then we also have an education specialist. So, ladies, I can't believe this hour went by really fast.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Really, really fast.
We need to do this again
Yeah.
because I have so much more I want to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
It's
So-
just, there's so much.
Yeah. If you have a veteran watching, what would you tell them, Robin?
Okay. The first thing I would tell you is don't lie to yourself because you have issues going on and you need to come here to Little Blessings Outreach Community Service and you will get help. You do not pay for this program. We have donors that give money so that you can go through the program. Your wife, your spouse, girlfriend, whatever, can go through the program. We have a spousal group also. And we have kids programs for your children.
What about you, ladies? So there's other legions and VFWs and auxiliaries of all sorts. What would be your piece of advice for them? Why do you choose to support us?
It's life-changing. I can see it.
Yeah.
You know, and I hate to say, and I'm not saying this to be mean, but I would hate to see where you would be at without this place or other veterans. And I think the mentality now is people talk about things versus when they first came over from World War One, you know, and
Yes.
two, you didn't talk about that. So you
Mm-mm.
push down your feelings and, you know, it's life changing. And there are people out there that can help you. Just come and just pull up the driveway. It's a long driveway, and I'm thinking I'm probably on camera. You know, that's what I'm thinking to myself. But it's a long driveway.
You got a lot of time to decide
Yeah.
whether you're going to park or not.
Yeah. But,
Oh, well, ladies, I cannot thank you enough for all that you do for us, supporting us in the ways that you do, coming on the podcast, sharing why you choose to partner with us. And of course, you know, you're my sister and I love you. So,
Love you too.
thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.